I can round today. I can round, yes, I can round, oh yeah. 5 or more goes up by 1, that's it. 4 or less just stays the same, don't quit. Yes, I can round it. I can round today. I can round, yes, I can round, oh yeah. 5 or more goes up by 1, that's it. 4 or less just stays the same, don't quit. Yes, I can round, oh.
Good morning, fourth grade. Coming at you today from our classroom. I decided to just come on in, use the school's internet because ours is terrible, and I didn't want my video to glitch in between again. So here I am at the school putting together another math lesson for you today. Today we are going to review something that we've already done, estimating, and we're going to apply it to multiplication, which we've been learning. So today we're going to have problems very similar to what you've been working on, but before you solve them, I want you to think about a reasonable estimate for an answer to double check and make sure your answer is correct, or to have a good ballpark idea on whether it's correct. So today you're going to be given problems very similar to this. So you might see 3 digits today on the top. You might see 2 digits on the top. You might even see 4 digits on the top. And maybe if I get really tricky, I might even send you more than 4 digits on the top. See how good you are. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to think about this top number and you're going to see if you can come up with a good estimate for this top number. You're going to think about maybe rounding it to the nearest tens place or the nearest hundreds place. And quite honestly, there's not a right or a wrong answer on how you round it. So you're going to look at this number and I'm going to think, all right, if I round it to the nearest tens place, this is the tens place right here. So if I round it to that place value, I'm going to look at the neighbor. The neighbor tells the 3 to go up because it's a 5 or higher. And the rule is if it's 5 or higher, it tells the neighbor to go up to the next digit. So the 3 would change to a 4 and the 5 would become a 0. Everything behind what we round becomes a 0 and the front number would stay the same. So if we rounded this to the nearest tens place, it would become 140. All right, now let's do a little bit of mental math. If I had 140, I'm writing another problem down here, times 2, which is what our problem is right here, times 2. What is 140 times 2? I'll give you a second to think. Okay, if I were doing this problem, I would think 14. I would ignore that 0, like we've kind of learned that we can ignore the 0. And I would think 14. I know 2 14s are 28. So I can do this pretty easily in my head, which is the point of rounding, so that you can have a nice, easy way to check and make sure your answer is correct. So I know 2 14s are 28, and then I can tack that 0 onto the end. Sorry, you guys, my writing is really sloppy when I write it like this. So my rounded answer would be 280 if I round to the nearest 10. Okay, I'm going to write that up here just for a quick little guide, okay? Now I'm going to do the exact same problem, and this time, instead of rounding to the nearest 10, I'm going to round it to the nearest 100, and let's see what we get then. Let's see how close our answer is then. Okay, so I'm going to think about the hundreds place. If I round to the nearest hundreds place, I look to the neighbor, so the 3 is what I look to. The 3 tells the 1 to stay the same, so I'm going to keep the 1 as a 1, and everything behind it becomes a 0, remember, okay? So 135 rounded to the nearest 100 is just 100. And then I'm going to take that times 2. All right, 100 times 2, I know that 200s are 200. So I know that that answer is 200. Okay, I'm going to flip that up here. Whoops, not 280. Almost wrote the same thing again. 200. Okay, I'm going to leave both of these here, and let's see which one is closer. If it's closer to round to the nearest 10, or if it's closer to round to the nearest 100. Okay, I'm going to get rid of all of this rounding, and let's solve the actual problem and see how close we were. Okay, let me get rid of my arrow here too. Okay, so if I take 2 times 5, I go straight up and down. I'm going to have to teach you a quick little trick on this too. 2 times 5 is 10, so carry the 1, drop the 0. 2 times 3 is 6, plus the 1 on the top is 7. Okay, we haven't done this triple digit yet. So let's take 2 times 1. 2 times 1 is 2. And there was nothing on top. I need to get rid of that. 2 times 1 is 2. So my answer is 270. That's my actual answer. So now let's go back up to our estimates. Was it closer to round to the nearest 10? Or was it closer to round to the nearest 100? Which one got us closest to our actual answer? Oh my gosh, of 270. Rounding to the nearest 10 did. So you can see that both of our estimates, they're not wrong. They're both right. But the smaller value that we are able to estimate to, like to the nearest tens rather than to the nearest hundreds, the closer our answer will be and our estimate will be to each other. So keep that in mind. All right, let's do another one. So now you've got a little taste. Let's do something a little bit smaller since that triple digit stuff we haven't really done yet. Okay, so let's do, how about if we do, let's see, how about 54 times 9? 54 times 9. Okay, on this one, we don't really have any options for rounding. We need to just round to the nearest 10 because we can't really round to the nearest ones place. That doesn't work. So we need to round to the nearest 10. So we underline the 5, look to the neighbor. What does the 4 tell the 5 to do? I know that 5 tells it to go up or anything above 5, but a 4 tells it to just stay the same. So I'm going to keep 5 the same and change the number behind it to a 0. So it would become 50. Okay, all right, now let's take 50 times 9. So off to the side here, I'm going to do this problem. 50 times 9. So I'm going to take 9 times 0. I know that's 0. Anything times 0 is 0. And then I'm going to go kitty corner. Whoops. 9 times 5. 9 times 5 is 45. So I drop that down because I have nothing to carry it to. That is my estimated answer, 450. Okay, now let's do the actual problem and see how close we are. So I'm going to get rid of all my rounding stuff. Okay, 9 times 4 is 36. So I'm going to carry the 3 and drop the 6. 9 times 5 is 45 plus 3 more. 45, 46, 47, 48. 48. So my actual answer is 486. My rounded answer is 450. I am in the same ballpark. I'm super close, so I know my answer must be pretty much right on, unless I made a tiny little mistake. But I'm pretty much right on in the ballpark. Okay, let's try another one. So this is exactly what your lesson will be. You'll be given a problem. Let's do another one. Let's do 27 times 4. Okay, you'll be given a problem. Your first job is to round the top number. So 27, I know that 27, the 7 would tell the 2 to go up to a 3. So it would become, I'm going to write it over here this time. It would become 30. Okay, so the 2 looks to the neighbor, the 7 tells the 2 to go up to a 3, and it becomes a 30. Okay, all right. Then I'm going to multiply that by 4. 4 times 0 is 0. 4 times 3 is 12. So my rounded answer is 120. My actual answer, now let's solve it. 7 times 4 is 28. 4 times 2 is 8, plus 2 more is 10. 108. I was almost reading the whole number. So I know that 108 is super close to 120. So my answer must be correct. Okay? All right, let's do one more, and then you're on your own. Okay, let's do, how about 85 times, let's do 7. Okay, 85 times 7. All right, let's take a look at our top number. So I'm going to look at the 8, and I'm going to check out the neighbor. The neighbor tells my 8 to round up to a 9. So it would become 90. Okay, I know that I'm going to multiply by 7. So 7 times 0 is 0. 7 times 9 is 63. So that is my rounded answer right here. This is my rounded answer. Then let's do our actual problem. 7 times 5 is 35. 7 times 8 is 56, 57, 58, 59. Ugh, gosh, it's hard to write sideways like this. 59. Okay, now let's double check. This 595 is pretty close to 630. Let's just double check and make sure I didn't do something wrong. 56, 57, 58, 59. Okay. All right. Okay, all is well. So on this one, our answers are a little bit farther off, but also keep in mind that 85 is quite a bit, well, it's 5 lower than 90. So when we take 90 times 7 versus 85 times 7, there is a little difference there, okay? All right, so we're gonna try some estimations and some actual multiplication today. So each problem is going to have 2 different answers, one for estimation and one for the actual answer. Okay, I will be shooting you some problems to practice, so have fun with that. Get a whiteboard, get a piece of paper, whatever you have handy. Maybe you've got I used to have a Magnadoodle. Maybe you have a Magnadoodle that you could draw on. Okay, so you do your work on whatever surface you've got to do some problems on, and we'll be good to go. All right, you guys enjoy the day. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Fishing pole, grill it in. Word, hold on. It's me and my friends.
Go, bud.
Word, you know what I'm saying? Walk in, walk out, let's go. Word. Hey, walk it out, walk it out. Word.